So an important concept I want to share with you, that is rank null space of a linear transformation. So how to understand this? Suppose you take this a domain, maybe domain V, and then codomain W. There is a linear transformation from V to W, that is T. Okay, so what is the meaning of null space? Here will be 0 vector because this is a vector space, and also here will be some 0 vector, maybe same or different. So collect the vectors which are mapped to 0. Okay, 0 must be mapped to 0 because that is a concept for linear transformation. Some other vector, suppose I take here one vector that may be mapped to 0, and here one vector mapped to 0. Collect these vectors, collect the vectors which are mapped to 0, right? Suppose I put this circle. This means the vectors inside the circle are mapped to 0, means this is called null space or kernel. Null space or kernel of the linear transformation T. So we shortly write n of T, right? I repeat, the vectors, the set of vectors which mapped to 0 in the domain, that is important. Null space is a subspace of the domain. This is called null space or kernel of T, right? So this is a vector space, so this must have a basis. The dimension of null space is called nullity of T. The dimension of null space is called nullity of T, right? This is one concept. And then the second one, right, consider the same thing. Suppose you collect the vectors mapped to, suppose here one vector, these are all mapped to 0, so I take here another vector, this mapped to another vector here, one vector here, a dot is a vector, keep like this, and then here another vector is mapped to here, right? Collect the set of all images in the codomain. Apart from this, there may be vectors here outside this green circle. So now we are collecting the vectors. They are images of some elements in V, that is this one. This is called range of T or image of T. Range of T or image of T. Range or image, range set or image set. Usually we study in functions heading. So range of T or image of T. This range of T is a subspace of the codomain. Range of T is a subspace of the codomain. So the dimension of this range of T is called rank of T. Okay, the dimension of the codomain is called rank of T. And also by rank nullity theorem, these two, when you add these two, rank of T plus nullity of T, these two, this implies dimension of the domain. That is very, very important. So dimension of the domain. So this is very important result, I already told. So this is equal to rank of T plus nullity of T equal to dimension of the domain. This is called the rank nullity theorem or Sylvester's law. Right. When a linear transformation is called 1 to 1, there are equivalent conditions. One is kernel of T equal to 0. If kernel of T equal to 0, that means only 0 vector is mapped to 0, then the transformation is 1 to 1. Okay. Obviously nullity will be 0. So 0 means 0 vector, but nullity will be 0. So nullity of T equal to 0. These are all equivalent conditions. Okay, so I give another shortcut. Whenever we study using the functions concept, okay, suppose we have 3 vectors here, I mean 3 elements, I would say 3 elements here, 2 elements. Can we define one to one function from this set to this set? This is A and this is B. Is this possible to define a one to one function from A to B? Suppose I draw here, this mapped to this one and this is mapped to this one. So this is left out. Suppose if you leave like this, this is not a function, right? So either this element must map to this entry first one or this entry here. So we cannot define a one to one function where the cardinality of A is more than the cardinality of B. That is, if the cardinality of the domain is greater than the cardinality of the codomain, we cannot define one to one function. So keep this in mind. So like this, instead of cardinality, keep dimension here in linear transformation. Suppose the dimension of the domain is greater than the dimension of the codomain, we cannot define one-to-one linear transformation, right? Number one. And then, so like this, suppose here two elements we have, here two elements and here three elements. Can we define onto function? So what is onto function? Every element in the codomain must have pre-image in the domain, or in other words, range of A equal to B. Suppose I map this element to this element to this cannot be mapped. Suppose you map this element to any one of these, this function will be, this will not be a function. So this will be left out. So using this concept, we can say if cardinality of the codomain is greater than cardinality of the domain, we cannot define onto function. So like this, instead of cardinality, take dimension. If cardinality of the codomain is greater than cardinality of the domain, dimension of the codomain is greater than dimension of the domain, we cannot define onto linear transformation, right? In functions, then when can define one and onto function? Here two elements means here we must have two elements, then only we can define like this. This element is mapped to this element is mapped to this. This is clearly one to one and also onto. So whenever we define onto one and onto function, cardinality of the domain equal to cardinality of the codomain. The same concept you can apply here. If dimension of domain equal to dimension of codomain, there is a possibility for bijective linear transformation. So these are all important concepts, so keep it in mind. Simply remind or recall the concept you studied in school about functions, one-to-one onto functions. Using this, you can check whether a linear transformation is one-to-one or not, and also using this concept, kernel of t equal to 0, like that, using this also we can find out. So in a vector space, we can define one type of product that is called inner product. So this is a definition. Using the two vectors u and v, linearity property, inner product of au plus bv with the w equal to a into inner product of u and w plus b into inner product of v and w. And then symmetric property, inner product of u with the v equal to inner product of v with u. And then positive definite property, for any u belongs to v, inner product is always greater than or equal to 0, and inner product is equal to 0 if and only if u equal to 0. The vector space with an inner product, so with an inner product is called inner product space. So norm or length of a vector, this is defined as norm of u equal to root of inner product u comma u. So find out inner product with u and then take positive square root, that is called norm or length. If norm or length is 1, that is called unit vector, and also u is said to be normalized. And also for any non-zero vector v in v, we have the unit vector v vector equal to, or v cap equal to 1 by norm of v into v. We already studied this. Whenever you divide a vector by its modulus value, magnitude, this will become unit vector. So the same concept we are using here. This will be always unit vector. So when this concept is called normalizing the vector, right?